What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be talking about the top 5 gun myths there are out there. Whatever. Alright, so let's get right into this video. So, like I said before the intro roll, did you like the little hand movement right there? We're going to be talking about top 5 gun myths out there, alright? These are in a particular, well, not really. The first one and, well, no, just the last one. Just the last one's in the only in particular order. Because to save the best for last, because I feel like it's the most common misconception. So, yeah. Before we start, I would like to ask you guys to hit the like and subscribe and show your support. If you find my content entertaining in the least bit, I'd love to know about it, and I would love to see your support on the like button down below because it means an absolute ton to me. Also, first link in the description is merch. Go check it out. Awesome sweatshirts and pretty sweet t-shirts out there. My favorite is the Bear. Super comfy stuff. I have like a handful of them. I'm going to order some more here soon. We are also working on more designs, so stay ready for that. Alright, so let's get right into it. Let's start out with the first firearms myth out there, okay? And this is a very, very common misconception. It's that all guns recoil a lot. So whenever I take a new shooter shooting, and I do this a lot of my friends, I just graduated college, a lot of them have no experience with firearms, okay? And I try to take as many people shooting as I can, because the way you normalize shooting, the way you make people comfortable around it is to take them do it, right? And one of the biggest things people say to me is like, is this rifle going to kick? Okay? And I'm like, well, no, not really. You know, and they're like, are you sure this is not going to hurt my shoulder? And I'm like, no. And usually I take them and I let them shoot like a 6.5 Creedmoor, a handful of pistols, and at least one AR-15 and maybe an AK-47, just like trying to like work them through the whole list of firearms that they need to be exposed to. And usually they're very much afraid of the recoil on all of them, and nothing I take out really I feel like has a lot of recoil. The most probably would be a 6.5 Creedmoor, and still it's not that bad really. So that is a very common misconception, that all firearms are going to recoil and hurt your shoulder. Okay, 5.56, 223, basically anything in an AR platform, there's not that much recoil. You can build them to where they can beat you up a little bit more, but for the most part, they're a very comfortable shooter, and they don't have a lot of kick when it comes to firing them. Same can be said for like 22s. Most of my hunting rifles aren't that bad. Some of them do have a little bit more whomp to them, but nothing that's like really painful. I've never shot a 50, but I'm sure that would be actually painful. So guns don't have the recoil that they're portrayed to have, and that is like a pretty big myth out there. Okay, so let's move on to the second firearms myth in this list, and that would be that AR stands for assault rifle. And it doesn't. It kills me when people say this. It's like when people say clips and mags, that one really doesn't bother me that much, but AR, meaning assault rifle, bothers me more than people doing the clips and mags thing. So AR does not mean assault rifle. AR means armor light rifle. It does not mean automatic rifle. It means armor light rifle. It's just what it is, okay? And that is a very common misconception that grinds my gears personally more than anything. Like I said, it's kind of like the clips and mags thing. That one doesn't bother me as much as the AR means assault rifle. So that is myth number 2, and I am using a cheat sheet here because I can't remember 3 things that I wrote down. Alright, third thing, guns fire when dropped. So like everybody has seen the movies, right, where you're like, they just like toss a gun and go pow, and they're like, what happened? Oh, I dropped my gun, I'm sorry. You know, that's not very real. I mean, it can happen. It's not very realistic that will happen. I've accidentally dropped loaded firearms before, both on safe and not on safe, and it's something that happens. But the firearm doesn't go off when dropped. The firearm doesn't go off when hit hard. It doesn't work that way. Okay, that's not how the firearm works. It's not how it's meant to work. It doesn't happen that way. Okay, especially if like the gun's on safe, it's really not going to happen. You should always treat your firearm like it's loaded. By the way, treat it like it would go off, but don't. It just doesn't happen that way. It's not how it works. So that's number 3 on the myths. Okay, is firearms will go off when they are dropped, and it's just not true. It just doesn't happen that way. Okay, so number 4. I used to subscribe to this myth, and it's not a bad myth to subscribe to and to live by, but it's not 100% necessary. So the 4th myth is guns need to be cleaned every time after they are shot. And it's a good practice to clean your rifles after you shoot them, but it's not necessary to clean your rifles every time after you shoot them. So for example, with my AR-15 that I use to deer hunt with, I use a Grendel. I don't clean that rifle the whole entire time I'm deer hunting. For the 2 weeks of rifle season, and then usually before, because I'm shooting it before, prepping for the deer season, and then deer season, I don't clean the rifle that much. After deer season, especially if it's like rainy or something crappy, I'll give it a good cleaning, just so it doesn't rust while it's locked up. But for the most part, you don't have to clean your gun every time you shoot it. It's not necessary. The gun will still function properly, as long as you don't jam it full of crap. I don't know what you like. As long as you don't dip it in mud, shoot it, dip it in mud, shoot it, and then leave it, you're probably fine. You don't need to clean it every time you go to the range. You just need to make sure it's well taken care of. It doesn't rust. It's not full of dirt. You just need to make sure it's taken care of. You don't have to clean it every time though. That's a big misconception. Alright, so then we have the 5th and final misconception or myth out there. And this one really probably caters to people that are really not in the gun community at all. Or maybe you are and just don't look that into it. Is suppressors and machine guns. A lot of people, and I mean a lot of people, are like, those are illegal. No, not really. They're not illegal at all, actually. They're not actually that hard to get either. If you can buy a pistol, you can pretty much buy a suppressor. So that's a big misconception, is that those are illegal to own. They're not. They're just really regulated to the point where it's hard for people to get them. I know when I told people that I was looking to get a suppressor, they're like, how do you do that? Like, they're illegal to own. You can't do that. No, you actually, yeah, you can. You can get them, and it's not that difficult to get them. You just got to go through the right channels and the right paperwork. Alright, and the same goes for machine guns. They're harder to get because of, I don't remember, was it sometime in the 80s? I don't remember when they cut it off, but you can no longer manufacture machine guns and sell them. So anything pre-ban is worth so much more now, and you can't get more of them. So machine guns are hard to get because they're so expensive, and that's what makes it difficult for people to own machine guns, right? Alright, so that's why there's this misconception, is because of how hard it is to get it, the rarity of people owning it, and all that combined makes people think, oh, well, it's illegal. You can't own that stuff. And that's not true. You can. We live in America. You know? America. So, that's the 5th. Alright? So, and like every top 5, we have a bonus. This is number 6. Okay? So, number 6 is that gun laws work. Alright? So, that's the 6th myth. That's probably the mythiest myth we have, and that's a whole nother video that I don't really want to get into right now. So we'll leave it at that. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope that it was helpful. If you clicked on this because you honestly didn't know some of these things, and that's awesome. I hope it informs you, and I hope that you benefited from it. And if you did like the video and you knew some of these things, comment down below. Tell me some other gun myths out there I'd love to hear it from you guys. It would mean the absolute world to me. Okay, so hit the like and subscribe button if you did any of that stuff, and then also check out the merch, top link in the description. Would mean a ton to me. Okay guys, so I think that about does it. I appreciate every single one of you guys for watching. As always, take someone outdoors, and I will see y'all next time.